Mascot horror, a subgenre of horror focused around the idea of taking children's mascots and subverting the initial purpose of them by turning them into killers. In 2014, an indie horror game called Five Nights at Freddy's released. It was about monitoring animatronics at a children's restaurant after hours, only that the animatronics have a very dark backstory. FNAF became a very successful franchise and earned many terrifying sequels. In late 2019, FNAF fans received a teaser showing off the new, upcoming game, Security Breach. Fans were excited to see what was in store for them in the new installment. Security Breach's release seemed to get farther and farther away, because it was. It had to keep getting delayed because, quote, it can be better. It finally released 2 years after the first teaser, and fans were ecstatic to finally see what had been awaiting them. And instead of gameplay worth the long wait, fans were not happy with the game's state. The game was extremely buggy, and it seemed like it had been rushed. Not only was it unfinished, but it wasn't even scary and wouldn't even fit to the classic horror genre if you ask many FNAF fans. Security Breach turned a horror franchise with a deep and twisted story into a childish mess. This is when the downfall of Mascot horror started. Mascot horror had risen after its predecessor, Creepypasta horror, which consisted of games like Slender and the 8 Pages. Mascot horror had really blown up when FNAF released in 2014. Many others would say that Mascot horror had begun its decline around the release of Poppy Playtime in 2021. I do not believe this to be the case. The game Poppy Playtime was a great example of what Mascot horror should be if it wasn't for MLB Studios trying to milk it dry and even putting a laughable merch button on the main menu. Recently, in January of 2023, the Euphoric Brothers released a new game called The Garden of Banban. It was infamous for being arguably the worst indie horror game of all time. It was so bad that many people thought it was mocking indie horror, and it could even get its own respectable video if this one reaches 100 likes. Not only are these games laughably bad, but Mascot horror is also overused entirely. Almost every indie horror game developer on this planet has experimented with Mascot horror, including me. I'm not sure if there's anything that will stop the death of Mascot horror. There's only one way to find out as of now, and that is with time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for others like it, and even ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever a new video comes out.